What is up YouTube? This is AVAULT here, back in today with you guys another new Speed Duel deck profile right here. And today we are doing the Gilford stall deck profile, which you guys may have seen or watched the Speed Duel match the other day against the Dark Magician Girl turbo deck, which is really cool, really fun. And stall decks are just absolutely insane in the meta right now. I personally do feel it's a little bit of a problem where everyone's just playing stall and it's just very boring and dry when people do that. But I do come out with my own version, but also this version of a stall deck has, as I mentioned, has multiple winning conditions, which I will explain further in detail as we move along. So right here, just before we get into the deck profile, just a quick shout out to Master Shield Gaming for supporting us with this video as well, with their playmat right here. Really top quality playmats in their website. Be sure to check them out as well, and I will leave a link in the description down below. And as well, if you guys want to get 25% off discount from purchasing these mats, be sure to enter the promo code AVAULT25 when you guys are checking out. And I would really appreciate if you guys can provide Master Shield Gaming some support as well as the channel. And really cool playmat they have right here, as it's stitched on the edges, and it is a pure rubber cloth playmat, just like any regular Yu-Gi-Oh playmat as well. And also want to showcase you guys that they also sell these high quality premium unicorn matte sleeves that perfectly fit for your Yu-Gi-Oh cards right there on their website as well. Be sure to check it out and really appreciate the support. And also just a quick shout out for my own, we have a quick card sleeve review that we're using these just generic Duel Monsters, Duel Academy raw yellow sleeves that were out a long time ago, and a lot of you guys really like the sleeves here on the channel. And if you guys enjoy it, be sure to check out the AVAULT eBay store, where you can purchase exclusive OCG card sleeves from there as well. And we do ship internationally worldwide, so be sure to check it out and really appreciate your support. Anyways, so for the skill, we are playing Yami Yugi Destiny Draw. It's just very generic and very stable. It's just a really good card to have. It works especially well in this deck, I have to say. I don't know another skill that could be even better. Maybe Switcheroo could be really good as well. Play tested that a bit, but Destiny Draw seems to be working out the best, as you guys probably even see in the Speed Duel match. And so right here we have a 24 card main deck, just so you know. We are playing stall, that's why the 24 card ratio is really good. And we are playing 3 Blast Spheres, extremely powerful when people do attack into it. It scares scares opponent a lot. They don't want to have their monster destroyed, and they take damage from it as well. It can be very deadly and very hard to play around against sometimes. And we have 3 Yomi ships, of course, for just generic popping and destroying as well. And we do play 3 Zombinas. Sometimes 3 gets a little bit too cloggy, and you guys might think in the early game, if you draw into too many Zombinas, you're just bricking. But for this ratio, it actually works not too bad, because we're playing 24 cards in our main deck, and having 3 is is pretty decent as well. And it's really good for bringing back your Yomi ships. That's the number one reason that really helps float and really helps make the stall grind game even more hard for your opponent to overcome against. Next, we are playing 3 Gentlemanders. I want to talk about this card for a little bit. This card I feel like it's a little bit forgotten in this current meta. It was extremely popular, extremely hard to deal with during the time when Serpent Knight was still very powerful and strong before the release of Trials of Kingdom. But right now, with the release of Trials of Kingdom, there's more wider range and different decks that people are playing currently, which is really good. And there's less of Hidden Parasite and Eradicating Aerosol combos, which is basically one of the most important ways to overcome Gentlemanders. So bringing this back in at this current moment, I really felt like really surprises your opponent. And if they don't play Hidden Parasite or any monsters that can pop, like Man-Eater bugs and stuff like that, it's very hard to overcome Gentlemander. Parasite Paranoid works really well against it as well, but since we have Zombina, we can even bring back Gentlemanders again and again and continuously make really deadly locks and to stall out the opponent. And moving next to the boss monster, I would like to say, the really interesting part of this deck, and my favorite part, as you guys even know from the title and the thumbnail, is Gilford the Lightning. We play a one-off, and this guy is our boss MVP monster right here. It is incredible against stall decks as well. Like, and you only need to play a 1-off. Since you're stalling, both of your opponents are stalling against each other, eventually you're going to have 3 monsters in your board very easily, as the stall deck is very easy to build up 3 monsters. You tribute all your 3 monsters and basically Raigeki. And a Raigeki basically means it's a card in the regular TCG that destroys all your opponent's monsters. And Gilford the Lightning will destroy all your opponent's monsters, and you can swing in for a massive 2,800 attack. And even if not, they have back row to stop it. It's very hard to overcome it as a 2,800 beater. And it's just really good. And this deck makes it even more viable to play against powerful decks that you utilize on other just normal, regular attacking monsters as well. So it's really powerful, Gilford the Lightning. And you only need to play a 1-off because you're almost very easily guaranteed to draw into it as you're stalling anyways. And just get access to this card. Really cool, just for lulz, just for fun as well. But it turned out to work out very brilliantly. I highly recommend you guys checking this out and trying it out as well. Next, for our last monster, we do play 1 Magician of Faith. And we just need a 1-off just to recover our spells, which is really neat. Works very well with Blast Sphere and Yomi Shift because it just makes your opponent very scared and concerned. You can set this monster. There's a lot of setting involved in this deck. I would only say the downside, the weak point this deck is against would be Gravekeepers, since they have Oracle to pop all your face down monsters. But other than that, like, this deck has multiple winning conditions. As I would like to explain further, you can use Blast Sphere to inflict life points to your life point damage to your opponent. You can stall them out throughout and play the deck out game as well. There's basically at least 3 different winning conditions to win your opponent, and they work very well all together. So that basically rounds off the monsters right here, and I'm going to move into the spells. For the spells, most of us can predict it very easily already. 3 Mask of a Curse, which really helps support the burning game and makes it very hard for your opponent to deal with. They don't want, they're shaving off 500 life points every single turn. With Speed Duels, you can really get to that and shave it off to 0 eventually fairly quickly as well to win the game from there. 3 Stray Lambs, they work very well to help stall decks out. Instant 2 monsters on your board to basically block attacks, but also works very well with Gilford. If your Stray Lambs do survive as you stall, you can tribute your Stray Lambs rather than your other effect monsters and summon your Gilford to basically pop the board. Remember, you don't always have to tribute 3 monsters. You can just tribute 2 as well during your next turn after you use Stray Lambs. Remember, you can't use Stray Lambs. You can't summon Gilford the Lightning the same turn you use Stray Lambs, because Stray Lambs does have a restriction which does not allow you to summon other monsters the turn you activate this card. But you can set. So that's okay. So that basically rounds up for our spells, and of course, because of Magician of Faith allows us to recycle these, which is really good. Next, for the trap and the best trap in the current meta that I have talked many times in this current meta and during this time period, Floodgate Trap Hole. 3 of them, hands down. It just completely stops your opponent. And the really cool combo is you slowly just block off your opponent's field, and then once again, they're all set cards. You can then pop up your Gilford, and then basically pop all their monsters and swing in for game as well, or for massive damage, which is really good. And then last but not least, one more trap we are playing in the main deck, just Jar of Avarice, essential for stall decks as always, and really works very well in this ratio. Once again, because it's a 24 card main deck, you don't draw into this very often. The 1-offs can be kind of bricky when you do get into them, but Jar of Avarice has, with this ratio, has happened to be very useful in many situations to really help recycle all your resources back and basically keep yourself in the game, and that's how you win by decking out overall. So now that basically rounds up for the main deck, let's move on to the side deck cards. Also, just a quick shout out to another video. I have made a top 5 side deck cards that you guys should have into your Speed Duel decks, or be looking out for Speed Duels. And hope you guys enjoy that video, so be sure to watch that top 5 side deck cards, which I teach more about side decking and what those really good cards are. First of all, I have mentioned 2 Blast Hell by Attribute, really good. I talked this many times because of Floodgate Trap Hole is so powerful right now. You make your opponent's monster become face down. The only outage way is really usually by tributing it somehow, or I don't know, even like destroying itself, or maybe using it, maybe use it for a fusion summon or ritual summon if you could. Not sure if you can, if it's face down or not, but the usual way is to tribute that face down monster to keep going along, as you guys saw in the Speed Duel match 2 as well. and that's how they get over Floodgate Trap Hole. Now you want to be another step ahead of them by countering, by siding in your Blast Hell by a Tribute in the second game, second duel of your match. And if they are playing a lot of tribute monsters, and this turned out extremely great, you guys can saw it helped out a lot against that Dark Magician Girl deck over there, destroying it, inflicting 1,000 life points. So I really think this is key and essential. Next, another extra stall package I like to play, Pharaoh's Treasure and another pot of Avarice. If you're playing against another stall deck, a stall type of deck that is like you know, stalling out to make your opponent draw all their cards and deck win from decking out Pharaoh's Treasure and Jar of Avarice. When you play it correctly, you can make an infinite combo so that you don't run out of resources as well. Sort of the Deep Seated is also a really good one to help you basically stall from when decking out. So if you guys like that instead, you can definitely play one of those to replace the two of these and play another Blast Hell by Tribute, for example. And then last but not least, we do play 2 Waking the Dragons, and this card is absolutely insane, especially in this deck, because when people play against like stall decks, they know immediately they have to start siding in some Dust Tornadoes or even Night Beams. And they're really afraid of Floodgate Trap Hole because it's just such a powerful trap card. There are many situations and scenarios where my opponent played their Dust Tornadoes, really went too aggressive, wanting to pop the Floodgate Trap Hole, but instead they popped the Waking the Dragon, which allows me to bring out these 6 different extra deck monster cards, which we all know by now: Alligator Sword, 2 Arcana Knight Jokers, Meteor Beat Dragon, Ryu Senshi, as well as the Blue Eyes Ultimate itself right here. And I like Arcana Knight Joker more than two copies of each, more so than the other ones, simply because it has a kind of pretty neat effect. There is a scenario where I was playing against an opponent that has Man-Eater Bugs and Gale Lizards as well, and they popped my Waking the Dragon, and I summoned Arcana Knight Joker, and I basically just start beating down slowly bit by bit, and that was game for them. And they had Man-Eater, like I mentioned, they had Man-Eater Bugs and Gale Lizards, but I have so many monsters and so many resources on my hands, I can just pitch my monsters off to the graveyard and negate their effects that target this monster. And I have slowly just beaten them down from there on. But all these other rest of the 4 cards are very good as well. And yeah, like I mentioned, there's many scenarios that I have used Waking the Dragon to actually win the game from there instead, simply just playing the mind game to bait them into Dust Tornading the Waking the Dragon. Sometimes I might even recommend 3 because you do want to see this card as soon as possible if you do realize your opponent's aggressively Dusting Tornado. So once again, another ratio, another option is you can play one sort of Deep Seated, take out these 2 cards and play one more Waking the Dragon, which works very well as well. So that basically rounds up this entire deck profile. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to comment down below what you guys think about this deck. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a very unique mixture of flavors and variables that I try to put together with multiple different win conditions. If you guys haven't seen the match duel, be sure to check that out as well to see this deck in action overall. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the speed duel content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and if you want more, subscribing is the best way to let me know you guys really want these speed duel content on the channel and enjoy it, and I'll keep promoting them for you guys overall. So yeah, if you guys already have been doing so, thank you so much for the support. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. And this is Vault signing out.